cash on cash return, net present value, internal rate of return, appreciation, depreciation, fix and flip, wholesale. What? I just want to sip Mai Tais and be on the beach all day long investing in real estate. I don't want to get in the weeds. Well, this video is going to talk to you about investing in Fort Collins, Colorado real estate. Probably one of my most passionate topics. We're going to talk about tips, tricks, tools, different types of investing, different areas of investing. So if what you're looking at doing is investing in Fort Collins, Colorado, which even if you're looking at just buying a house as a good placement of capital and not paying some landlord rent, you might want to watch this video. And if you're new to the channel and want to learn everything there is to know about Fort Collins, eating, sleeping, playing, working, subscribe to the channel. And if at the end of the video you've enjoyed the content, give it a big thumbs up. And if you're considering relocating to Fort Collins, Colorado, as much as I like making these YouTube videos, we like more working with buyers, sellers, and investors, relocating, investing, or selling here in Northern Colorado. So send me a text, email, or give me a call, whatever works best for you. I've got your back when it comes to Fort Collins, Colorado. Without any further delay, let's discuss the idea of investing in real estate as specifically as it pertains to Fort Collins, Colorado. Enjoy. Now, caveat, I am completely biased. Pretty much the entirety of my portfolio and net worth is tied up in real estate. So take that for what it is when you're listening to this video and understand I'm coming from a place of bias. But that being said, I think there are 4 things that you need to have if and when you are considering investing in real estate. 1, you need to be the real estate broker. If you're looking at doing fix and flips or buy and holds, selling for 5 years down the road, having that real estate license, well, 1, it gives you some insight into properties, the MLS. 2, it helps you save commissions, pay yourself when you're buying a property, potentially sell the property yourself and save on the commissions. There are arguments to be had on both sides, liability, all that kind of stuff. But I think if you're gonna be in real estate and investing in real estate, you could potentially have your real estate license would give you a leg up. Or 2, managing the property. If you're gonna buy, smaller multiplexes, 4 units and below, or single family units, probably your first 5 units, you need to manage this property yourself. Not only do you get hands-on experience from learning how to collect rents, security deposit dispositions, marketing, maintenance, coordination, unit makeover, make-readies, utility bill backs, lots of different things get your hands dirty when you're managing property yourself. Now you could also say that you're stepping over dollars to pick up dimes because yes, you're typically about 10% monthly expense off your gross revenue, and you could lose that if you didn't know what the market was. So let's say you had a property that was able to be rented for $2,000 a month, but instead you rent it for $1,750 because you just want to get it rented, you don't care, you just want to get a good tenant in there, and well, you might have paid $200 a month, so you're $1,800 net paying a property manager, $50 above what you're currently receiving. There could be an argument of stepping over dollars to pick up dimes if you're gonna manage it yourself, but I personally believe there's enough education out there, enough tools that if you have less than 5 units, get involved, manage the property yourself up to 5 units, and then consider bringing on a manager if you are still buying more units from them. Number 3, you've got to be the money. If you've got a ton of cash and you're just looking at a placement of capital, real estate might be an option for you. On the flip side, if you've got this little tiny bit of money and you want to get involved with real estate, yeah, sure, there's opportunity, there's ways to do that, but in reality, real estate is expensive, specifically here in Fort Collins. Medium price point, $450 and above, probably $470 now. Multifamily, a little bit more expensive. We'll get into that shortly, but generally speaking, if you're just gonna come buy a retail priced property, you're gonna need to put 25% down to acquire that property and get a loan on it. So at $450,000, quick math is $115,000. So if you don't have $115,000, real estate's a little bit difficult game to get involved with here in Fort Collins. So if you've got a ton of capital and you're looking to place it, you need to be the money. That's number 3 as far as things that you need to bring to the table. And number 4, probably where, again, you could step over dollars to pick up dimes based off of time frames and different things, but if you are a contractor and you are able to do the work yourself, if you're gonna manage it and you're gonna do the work yourself, this is where you could save a little bit of money. Maintenance expenses could range anywhere from 5 to 10% of monthly receipts. So that means that if your monthly receipts, your monthly revenue is $2,000 a month, you're gonna look to spend anywhere from $100 to $200 a month in maintenance. And that's averaged out over the life of this rental. Water heaters, $1,500. Furnaces, $3,000. A refrigerator, $500 to $1,000, depending on the level of finish that you're looking at. But if you're able to replace that water heater yourself and get it permitted, and now granted, permitting non-owner occupied is you have to use a licensed plumber. So there are different things that you have to use contractors for. But let's just say renovating the kitchen, pulling out the counters and cabinets and putting in new counters and cabinets, and you're doing that yourself, you could probably save 50% of what it would cost you on the market. Now, if you're not good, it could cost you double because you're just gonna have to rip it out and have a professional come in and do it. So take that with a grain of salt as well. But those are the 4 things that I feel like if somebody's looking to get started investing in real estate, need to have. They either need to be a broker, be willing to manage the property themselves, be the cash, or do the work. One of those 4 could get you into and have a better opportunity to succeed in real estate. Not to say that you can't succeed in real estate if you don't have any of those 4, but if you have some of those 4, you have a better opportunity to succeed. Investing in real estate, it's pretty broad. Fix and flips, buy and holds, BRRRR, buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. Investing in commercial, which commercial is broad. You could do multifamily, office, retail, warehouse, industrial, land. You could be a part of a syndication. You could be a minority partner in a small partnership. That's how I got my start. There are a ton of different ways. Virtual real estate, investing in REITs. There are tons of different ways of investing in real estate. So let's consider, for our sake, investing in real estate in Fort Collins is small multifamily or single family. So we're looking at duplex, triplex, or fourplex, or investing in single family. And what does that look like in today's figures? Well, since 2010, going all the way up to 2020, you used to be able to buy a duplex or a small multiplex for under $200,000 per door. Well, today, if you're gonna go on the market and buy a small multiplex in Fort Collins, you're gonna be looking at buying it for about $250 per unit. So if it's a duplex, it's $500,000. Triplex, $750,000. Fourplex, $1 million for a fourplex. There was a fourplex sold on Remington, went under contract in less than 10 days, sold for, I think actually $10,000 above list price. It was listed for 1.05, sold for 1.06. So if you're gonna be investing in Fort Collins, you are going to be paying a premium. And what that means is you're gonna have to get premium rents, and we're really just not there yet. Rents will increase, but they've increased slower than appreciation. Or you can invest in a single family house. Here in Fort Collins, the median price per square foot is about $190, and the median price for a home is, for a 3 bedrooms, about $450,000, or for a median priced home on the market, it's $450 to $470. So you gotta come in and you gotta start doing the math of what it's gonna take for that property to cash flow. I think if you're going to be investing in real estate from day one, it must cash flow, which is very difficult to do here in Fort Collins. But now I'm gonna jump into some tips and tricks and different ways of how you can invest in Fort Collins that might be able to get you a property or an opportunity to be successful. So how could you invest in Fort Collins and have a greater chance for it to be successful? The easiest, most hassle-free way to do it, if you have the financial ability, is to put a significant down payment down. Obviously, your return on cash, your cash on cash return would not necessarily be great, but if you are only looking at doing a placement of capital and want to ensure that the property cash flows, put more than 25 to 30% down. Maybe you put 35% down. You can ensure that it will cash flow just based off of sheer numbers. When you look at expense ratios, all that kind of different things. But putting a significant down payment can assure you that that property will cash flow. From there, you could look at buying from a wholesaler. Now, wholesalers want to work with professional investors. Generally, they want to have houses be bought cash. So you need to put together a different team. But again, wholesalers are an easier, less work way of doing it. But there are so many different caution signs. So if you're gonna go down that route, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to talk to you about what my experiences are, different ARVs, after repair values, and cash investment, and what they're buying it for cash, what they're asking you for a double close. Lots of different things that you probably want to sit down and educate yourself with, or just reach out. I'll be happy to answer some questions for you if that's the route that you want to go. Or now, if you want to get a little bit more in the weeds and get your hands dirty and try to have conversations with off-market deals. Your neighbor who has decided that they're going to sell their house, and you say, oh shoot, this is a great opportunity, it'd be a great rental, let's talk to them to see if we can buy it before they sell it. Those are the type of opportunities. Or your brother, sister have a friend that they're looking at selling a house. You need to let people know though that, hey, you're looking at investing in real estate. You'd love to buy an off-market deal. You can negotiate in those commissions and closing costs, but it's a lot of work, and it can get to be extremely time consuming if you really went down that route. Probably one of the best opportunities for somebody to come in and buy a house in Fort Collins, if you're willing to do this, is house hacking. What I mean by this is you buy a property, it's a 4-bedroom, you move in, and you rent those other 2 to 3 bedrooms out to friends or whoever is on the street who is willing, able, and a good, clean candidate. What I mean by clean is clean credit, background, has good income, employment verification, rental verification. You want to check them through the game because obviously you're going to be living with this person. But you could offset your mortgage substantially and parlay that into another deal a couple years down the road. The coolest thing about buying a property like that and house hacking is you get to take advantage of owner-occupied rates, which are more favorable, and also a lower down payment. So you could put as little as 3.5% down for a conventional loan, pay PMI, but hey, shoot, instead of $115,000, you're in for $15,000. And then you just have to live with roommates for a few years. You do that over the next 5 to 10, 15 years, you might have 7 to 10 rentals. And at that time, you can always come back, reappraise them, take off PMI. There's a great opportunity for house hacking. You could fix and flip here in Fort Collins. Very difficult to find. One, you're probably not gonna find a property that's on the market that if you can buy it, you can buy it for a big enough discount for the margins to make sense. So therefore, you're gonna have to go to off-market. And off-market, those are again, very difficult. And then on the fix and flip side, you better have a team that you know, like, and trust that are gonna do the work on time and do a good quality of work. Otherwise, you're gonna pay for it on the back side. Buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. BRRRR. This is again where you buy a property, you put some money into it. You could do a house hack. After a year, you've increased the value by replacing the kitchen countertops or the bathroom. Whatever that might be, you've added value. Come back in, have a banker or appraiser refinance you, or go through a refinance. Pull out some cash, the cash that you had invested, and move it on to the next one. You can do that with an owner-occupied property or a non-owner-occupied property. That is just one other option or opportunity for you to do buying in Fort Collins to be successful. And finally, the last opportunity that I like is mismarketed properties that are on the MLS. I just had a conversation with a buddy investor of mine the other day, and he said that one of the properties that he bought in a neighborhood that he never assumed was going to be a rental was listed with a 1,700 square foot total for the property. But he knew that that the property was much bigger than that. And so they thought that, well, heck, let's just go walk this property, see what it is. And they didn't even have the basement square footage listed. So really it was about a 2,500 square foot house. The rent rates are phenomenal, and just nobody on the market was looking at this property because they felt that the price was way too high for the square footage. But when you looked at the actual square footage of the total property, it was a great deal. So they got a good deal on the market because it was mismarketed. This could also be between different zones. If you are marketing a property that's a residential, but really it's in a low density mixed use zone, so you could actually probably put a duplex or a carriage house on. These are opportunities that you need to be savvy enough and aware enough to be looking for, or work with somebody, you know, not gonna name any names, but work with somebody who has gone through that experience and is willing to do that work for you. There's not a ton of those opportunities out there, so don't necessarily think that, hey, as soon as I start looking, I'm gonna find one. They are needle in the haystacks, but they are out there, few and far between. So a breakdown of how you could invest in Fort Collins, different ways that could allow you potentially to be successful. Bringing a significant down payment, looking at wholesalers, buying fix and flips, off-market deals, house hack, or like a live-in flip, BRRRRRR, buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. Or you could do opportunistic, mismarketed properties on the market. Those are just some different ideas of how you could come in and be successful investing in Fort Collins while not necessarily buying just retail, putting 25% down and hoping for the best. Things that you should probably consider if you're going to be investing in real estate. One of the 4 things: be the cash, contractor, broker, or manager of the property. If you're going to be if you are able to do one or all 4 of those, great. Your chances of success have went, you know, from here to here. It's a great opportunity for you to be successful in Fort Collins as far as investing. Now, caveat: there's just low inventory everywhere in the United States. Right now we're at the beginning of March and there's just not a ton to choose from. So, you know, please don't get your hopes up if that's what you're looking at doing. I've already worked with a couple investors and I'll just tell them straight up, hey, listen, you know, you think you're buying a duplex here in Fort Collins for $250,000? Heck no, ain't gonna happen. Look at $450,000 to $500,000. Our rent's gonna cash flow on that thing, maybe in 3 to 5 years. You're gonna need to bring them a significant down payment, or just be patient. Look for, you know, opportunities that might come down the road, off-market deals, whatever that might be. There are things that I can help with and there are things that I can't help with, but I will be the first person to tell you that, hey, there's a good opportunity here, or hey, it's not a good opportunity. So I hope this video helps you understand investing in real estate in Fort Collins, Colorado. If you haven't already, again, please subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, comment, engage, interact, ask me questions. I love this stuff. And honestly, I could have went on for hours. I actually wrote a book. Go to my website, you know, check out the book, Buying Your First Investment, Managing Your First Investment. Might be a little bit of a dry read as it was one of my first publications, but I had a fun time writing it. I hope you enjoy it if you do decide to read it. 99 cents on Kindle. And again, as much as I like making these real estate videos on YouTube for Fort Collins, I enjoy more working with buyers, sellers, and investors here in Northern Colorado and specifically Fort Collins. So send me an email, text, or give me a call. Appreciate you guys watching. Until next time, guys, take care.